kein Messer. Wir gehen mal wieder raus. Hier hat kein Messer gelegen. Hier war ja nur das Schwert. Okay, wir können uns wieder bewegen. Ja, vielleicht in diesem Erste-Hilfe-Raum. Ne, der ist zu. Okay. Wie kam da ein Messer hin? Genau das ist es nämlich. Und wo wurde es entwendet? Genau das frage ich mich ja gerade. In den Klassenzimmern wird keins sein. Im AV-Raum haben wir auch keins gesehen. Das heißt ja eigentlich nur, wir können noch mal gucken. Küche. Vielleicht ist es eins in der Küche gewesen. Mal gucken. Okay. Das ist aber der Ringsraum, ne? Das ist ja gar nicht die Küche. Moment mal. Das ist ja nur der Speiseraum. Kann ich irgendwo dahin? Ah, da geht's in die Küche, aha. Okay. Schauen wir uns mal um. Okay, das ist schon verdächtig, dass er uns das anzeigt. Was ist denn hier? Marbled Meats, Salted Meats. Now's no time to be thinking about food. Aber immerhin eine Münze. Jö. Was ist das denn hier? There's a bunch of vegetables all piled up. I don't see anything noteworthy about any of it. Hey, wieder eine Münze. Cool. Kameras wissen wir ja. Moment mal. Der Abstand hier ist ein bisschen groß, ne? Der Abstand hier ist ein bisschen groß. There are all kinds of kitchen knives here, big to small, but it looks like one of them is missing. Was it missing from the very beginning, or I'd better see if anyone here knows more about it. Kitchen knife set has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. Okay, das ist ja schon irgendwie ein bisschen merkwürdig. Jetzt fragen wir uns mal rum. Ist noch jemand außer Aoi hier? Nö, aber vielleicht hat sie ja was gesehen. Hey, so did you notice that one of the kitchen knives is missing from the dining hall?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, weird, huh? I thought it was kind of strange, a knife just suddenly disappearing like that. Oh, so it wasn't missing from the beginning?
That's right.
Nope. Last I remember, they were all lined up in a nice, neat row. So when did you notice one of them had disappeared? Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah. In other words, you were right there in the dining hall when someone came and took it. Then you should be able to say for sure, you can tell everyone I didn't come to the dining hall last night. Which proves I didn't take it. Aoi's account has been added. Okay. Hey, by the way, did you really kill Sayaka? What? Of course not! I would never! Hina, do you really think I murdered her?
I mean...
Well, she was killed in your room, right? So, I mean... You guys were supposed to be friends, right? But you still killed her. On the other hand, two people becoming friends, then one killing the other is a classic drama setup. So when you consider everything together, I honestly have no idea.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started,
Okay.
It's time for the long-awaited class trial! Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
The red door on the first floor. That's where I should go. No, where I have to go. Das klingt so ein bisschen nach Showtime. Ich speichere mal. Ich hoffe, ich habe alles gefunden. Nicht, dass das Spiel so eins ist nach dem Motto, du kannst nicht alles finden. Und wenn du nicht alles findest, dann bist du gelackmeiert. Ich hoffe es einfach mal. Oh Mann. You're late, Makoto. We've all been waiting for you. I bet you were afraid you would be discovered as the murderer you are. Fassen wir doch noch mal ein bisschen zusammen, was wir jetzt alles gefunden haben. Nachdem wir in unserem Zimmer waren und im Müllraum waren, dort haben wir eine Kristallkugel gefunden, beziehungsweise eine Glaskugel, die zerbrochen ist, und ein Kleidungsstück, was mit Blut getränkt war. Und dass wir die Kristallkugel gefunden haben, haben wir uns erinnert, wem die gehören könnte. Dem ultimativen Wahrsager Yasuhiro. Dem gesagt wurde, dass er damit die Welt kontrollieren könnte und dafür 1 Million Yen ausgegeben hat. Natürlich sehr, sehr unwahrscheinlich, dass das ein realistischer Preis ist und gerade auch bei dem, was es können soll. Er ist über den Tisch gezogen worden. Muss man einfach mal so sagen. Und danach haben wir uns mal überlegt, was ist genau eigentlich mit Sayaka geschehen. Sie ist erstochen worden. Und das Schwert lag ja im Wohnzimmer, also kann da ja eigentlich nichts gewesen sein. Aber das Messer, was in der Leiche drin steckte, sah ja aus wie ein Küchenmesser. Und deswegen, ich habe erst überlegt, wo könnte das Messer sein? Und es kann eigentlich nur in der Küche sein. Die anderen Räume haben alle nicht nach Küche ausgesehen. Und demnach sind wir in die Küche gegangen und haben festgestellt, dass echt ein Messer fehlt. Und Aoi sagte uns, dass dieses Messer auf jeden Fall vorher da war. Das heißt, es ist nicht von Anfang an weg gewesen, sondern es war mal da und ist verschwunden. Danach hat sie uns konfrontiert damit, ob wir jetzt immer der Mörder sind oder nicht. Und das war auch sehr, sehr unwahrscheinlich. Weil wir können ja jetzt eigentlich bestätigen, weil er ja noch nie in der Küche gewesen ist, dass er gar nicht sich das Messer hätte ergreifen können. Aber das war für Aoi nicht so offensichtlich. Und jetzt hat Monokuma zu diesem Tribunal bzw. zu diesem Gericht aufgerufen. Und alle anderen sind schon da und haben auf mich gewartet.
Listen to me!
Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Save that for the class trial. Okay. There we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime. Ja, ich bin ja mal gespannt auf den Anime. Wie gesagt, ich werde mir das immer anschauen, sobald ich einen Fall oder so gelöst habe. So they really are convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. But then, who is the killer? The one who murdered Sayaka. Is it really one of us?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom. Where all your fates will be decided.
Was meinst du, Toni? Schön, dass es weiß. Achso, dass Sayaka es weiß, ja. Where all your fates will be decided.
I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
Ach, was ich noch vergessen habe, Max. Gestern habe ich noch eine weitere Visual Novel Reihe mir hinzugefügt, mir selbst. Nämlich die Nonary Games Reihe. Es gibt eigentlich eine Trilogie, aber ich habe nur 2 Teile davon. Den dritten habe ich noch nicht. Und die kommt auch noch dazu. Xaxaxa. 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 Aber die soll genauso sein. Also Toni hat mir da gesagt, die soll ziemlich genauso sein. I guess I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mystery surrounding this case yourself. If you don't know, you will never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor, I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. As I raised my voice to try and give myself courage, I turned, trembling with anticipation, toward the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator when I finally stepped in. The doors closed, and the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with heavy, chunking sounds toward the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes.
Oh,
Rather than that, is it not more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment? Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. Oh. You finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie you said, right? Not even close. It's total...
Well now.
Okay, everyone. Find your assigned seats and sit down. Hurry up now, hurry up! We did what he said and found our seats. Ach du... Sehe ich das richtig? Da sind sogar die Bilder von den Dings dann aufgestellt. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else. Und ich weiß, wo gerade einige Leute hinschauen. Which also meant it'd be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto anyone else. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. And so, the curtain on our first case opened. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle. A deadly defense. A deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Okay. So. Open E-Handbook. Okay. Wir können hier nochmal reingucken. Ist hier mal was aktualisiert worden? Ah, jetzt endlich. Dead. She did it. Jetzt ist dead. Jetzt steht da dead. Dead. She did it. She did it. She did it. Okay. So. Okay. Und alles meine Schuld. Ich kriege jetzt langsam echt das Gefühl, ob es so ist, dass man verschiedene Leute hätte leben lassen können. Set Skills. What the fuck? Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Costs 3 SP. Was soll das sein? Was soll das sein? Ich glaube, das bringt mir herzlich wenig in diesem Kampf, oder? Ich lasse das mal raus. Ich weiß nicht, was das bringen soll. Trial. All rise. Okay.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Okay.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
What?
Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Stimmt, da ist einer mehr.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about anything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Monokuma hat gerade nochmal erklärt, dass wenn wir in dieser Verhandlung sitzen und den Richtigen finden, der Richtige auch bestraft wird. Wenn wir den Falschen finden, werden aber alle anderen bestraft. Und wie die Bestrafung aussieht, wissen wir. Execution. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Ja, eigentlich schon. Ich wüsste gerne, was ich jetzt machen soll. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim, then fire with the left mouse button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Ein Shooter. Oh, holy specs. Make your argument.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the
So.
murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Stop! Huh? Something's off about what was just said. Because if Sayaka hadn't resisted at all, there's no explanation for what happened to my room. For this first debate, we'd like to take a quick sidebar. If you're unable to spot and refute someone's lies or contradictions, the argument will repeat. Within a group of statements, some words appear in a different color. Did you happen to notice? That represents a potential hole in a person's statement with possible weak spot. These weak spots reveal important, though not always inaccurate, sections of a person's statement. Your truth bullets are only effective against these weak spots. So when you see one come up, take aim and fire, but only if you're sure it's actually wrong. As also you can fast forward an argument by holding down the control key. Well then, good luck and have fun.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place
In the bathroom. So it seems the killer must have taken her by surprise. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Lustig ist, dass jetzt auch als Tag unter dem Spiel automatisch der Shooter aufgetaucht ist.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what's used to kill Sayaka. Okay.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on.
Stopp mal.
No, that's wrong.
Some random knife ist nicht richtig.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Tut mir leid, dass ich jetzt gerade während die Rede etwas ruhiger bin.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere, just waiting for us to find out. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Of course, I want to know. You can concentrate by holding down the space key. While you're concentrating, time will slow down, so you can pay closer attention to what everyone is saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, and if this focus gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. Oh mein Gott. Aois Account. Ach ja, Aois Aussage, stimmt.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right?
Wie denn?
He did it in secret, when nobody was...
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, Then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Oh. Ho, 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 ho.
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
Aha, also hat irgendwie Komplize spielen keinen Sinn.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Ugh, good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops, did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
Das bezweifle ich.
No, no way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over.
Aha.
Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
Stimmt.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Kiyotaka, hast du nicht aufgepasst?
But I'm a girl.
What? You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Der hat den Max gemacht. Der Max ist ja auch darauf reingefallen.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is
Ich
there?
auch beim ersten Mal, als ich das Spiel angeschmissen habe.
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Ich sag nur, Kiyotaka hat auch gerade gedacht, dass Sakura ein Mädchen ist. Habe ich gesagt, hat den Max gemacht. Weil du ja auch dachtest, beziehungsweise dass das ein Mann ist. Du hast ja auch gedacht, dass Sakura ein Kerl ist. Aber das ist mir am Anfang auch passiert, dass ich das Spiel das erste Mal wegen Checkings, wegen Tests angeschmissen habe.
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here. Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was... Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility.
Oh Mann.
And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Then the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, You're wrong.
Wie kommen die immer auf den Trichter?
That's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction?
Ja gut, man darf jetzt nicht vergessen, wir sehen das Spiel ja nur aus Makotos Perspektive.
You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn. If I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Stimmt, sie hat uns auf etwas angesprochen. Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Ich wüsste gerne, was das ist. As things advance further in a class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around, and the letters already shown. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the mouse to aim, the left button to shoot. Okay, if you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If this gauge reaches 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Well then, good luck and have fun. Something that should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If we can just figure out what that something is. Okay. Hangman's Gambit. Okay. 4 Buchstaben. Ich meine, das sind die Haare, ne?
Now I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
Das stimmt, da hat er recht.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
Ich hoffe, diejenigen, die Probleme mit der Sprache haben, können das Ganze jetzt trotzdem noch verstehen, was da gerade kommt.
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
But are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Ja.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Moment, ich muss mal kurz was nachgucken. Thema Internetprobleme mal eben kurz. Es gab anscheinend wieder das gleiche Problem, was letztes Mal war. Und das ist jetzt behoben. Wieder eine externe Störung. Haha. The killer struggled getting into the bathroom. And that evidence that proves it is... The object the killer broke? Ja, was hat er denn zerbrochen? Den Doorknob, ne? The object the killer broke.
I got it!
Müsste das gewesen
Evidence
sein.
that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Wer ist denn überhaupt noch da?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh, yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Absolutely! Ich möchte wissen, was ich machen muss. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Aha, jetzt wird's also interessant. Das war nämlich das, was ich mich die ganze Zeit gefragt habe. Wird es jetzt immer so sein, dass ich einfach warten muss, bis ich schießen muss? Oder gibt es auch eventuell mal falsche Aussagen, die man treffen könnte? Gott sei Dank haben sie das eingebaut. Jawohl. Wunderbar. Now this is important, because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You will have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. Bathroom door frame. Okay.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
Yes.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her.
Yeah.
And they got into the bathroom.
Yeah.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Da.
No, that's wrong.
Das kann nicht stimmen. Wir haben doch kein Schloss im
The
Jungenzimmer
reason
eigentlich.
my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Stimmt.
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door.
Im Endeffekt war es ja jetzt Glück, dass wir sowas haben.
That's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Ist noch jemand da?
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. So they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime they didn't know was... It was in my room. Oder? Ja.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? Inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. Ich finde ja diese ganze Aufmachung dieses Falls richtig gut. Also, dass das jetzt so aufgebaut ist, dass sie sich jetzt gegenseitig die Aussagen an den Kopf knallen, dass man da jetzt beweisen muss. Das finde ich richtig cool gemacht, muss ich sagen.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Das ist wirklich eine gute Frage.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then... maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in because... switching rooms.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh?
Was?
Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
Sie soll vorgetäuscht haben, Angst zu haben?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Ich fasse den ganzen Fall nachher mal zusammen. There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two, in 5 minutes. Come see me in my room, okay? Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
Ich glaube, der Chat ist abgeschmiert.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then, that note, Sayaka wrote it?
but why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Oh Mann, ey.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Okay, Dorm Nameplates. Ach ja, wir haben ja die Namensschilder ausgetauscht.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Moment, ist es das? Ich glaube nicht, oder?
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying.
No, that's wrong. The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Nee, wir haben das ja selber nur erst gefunden.
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only other person who knew we had switched rooms. Sayaka.
I got it!
Der
Me
Killer
and
weiß es ja auch
Sayaka were
nicht.
the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Könnte sein.
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt. Wrist had fractured, glittery and injury. Genau, da ist Glitter drauf. Stimmt.
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Boah, wie viel denn noch? Are you getting used to the non-stop debates? Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. But just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. Jawohl. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. You can press the Q key to rotate the cylinder and choose the bullet to fire. Press and release the Q key to circle it through each bullet. Or you can use the mouse wheel. Oh danke, mouse wheel ist einfacher. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. Das muss ich auch noch erklären. Es gibt ja verschiedene Schwierigkeiten, in denen man das Spiel spielen kann. Das ist die normale Schwierigkeitsstufe. For our purposes, this time the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Was? Well then, good luck and have fun. Oh mein Gott. Mhm. Das heißt, ich muss jetzt immer mal wieder bremsen wahrscheinlich. Obwohl, nee, glaub nicht. Ich hab das Richtige schon.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
Da!
No, that's wrong!
Ich muss mich immer da konzentrieren.
I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Huh? Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
Glaube ich auch nicht dran.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Stimmt. Wenn wir drüber nachdenken, ein Teil ihres Körpers zeigt, dass sie das Schwert nicht benutzt haben kann. Jetzt überlegen wir nochmal. Toni sagt schon, yes. Okay, also funktioniert der Chat doch noch. Also, part of a body that shows never used to the sword. Wir wissen auf jeden Fall, dass es eine Körperregion gibt, die darauf hinweist, dass sie das Schwert nicht genutzt haben kann. Auch deine Telekom nicht, okay? Alles klar, Max. If you wanted to use a sword, which part of your body would have touched it? Ihre Hände ist noch angepackt, oder?
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
Glaube ich auch
How
nicht.
can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Nein, immer noch
No,
nicht, Toko.
that's not it at all.
There's no way Sayaka washed the gold coating off her hands because there's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to the bathroom. Das Wasser war abgeschaltet. Das wird ja immer abgeschaltet nachts.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath would have been the one without the sword. Das müsste Sayaka gewesen sein. Sie hat das Schwert ja nicht gehabt. In meinen Augen. Der Killer kann es nicht sein.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Das ist durchaus denkbar. Dass sie versucht hat, das Geschehen hinterher auf uns abzufärben.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms,